Turning a story around on a tight deadline is what we do.
You have to present it in a way that's relatable to people.
The audience will always remember the first and last parts of your piece.
Do a little bit of transcription. What are those bites that I remember when I was doing the interview?
Television Writing 101 is about writing to, but I think writing with your video.
You have to think ahead. What story do I have to tell here? What are the elements I need? And what compelling details do I need to include?
I think back timing is really key here, making sure that you leave enough time for each task beforehand. Planning out your day, really trying to be as efficient as possible.
Listen to your interview so you don't have to go back and spend time figuring out what sound you want to use for your piece. Picking a great soundbite, letting the interview do the storytelling can be a better source of information than more words from a track.
If the interviewees gives you something really great, you don't need to also duplicate that in your lines of track. Let them carry the story forward.
Make sure that you are hearing from a diversity of perspectives, giving accurate information, and that you are conducting any interview from a place of fairness and respect.
Different types of stories are harder to script than others.
It's really crucial to just make a brief outline.
You can start by grouping elements and information in subtopics and then decide in which order you want to tell them.
Make sure that you are including all of the relevant facts that relate to any given story.
Checking them out with our standards unit for accuracy, that it is fair.
I love to look at the video first, scrubbing through everything.
I know I've got this great opening shot. It inspires me to write a strong opening line. Develop habits of writing to video, where you're sort of offering extra context or giving people information about what they're seeing.
It's harder to write a short story than to write a longer story because you have to really be very careful with your words.
I'm a big believer in something I call power writing. It's using descriptive phrases and action verbs. Don't waste your opportunity to tell a compelling story by falling into the trap of cliches that have been used for 75 years in television news. This is your chance to shine every sentence, every paragraph, every story.
When you're reporting on a story, you're part of that story. You're just responding as a human being, and that's what really sets the tone of how you convey it.
Is this a playful story, a funny story, or is it a more serious, respectful story with a lot of gravitas?
What makes your story compelling? And the better you know your story, the more connected you are to the people in your story, the more you'll be able to set the right tone for that story.
Working under a tight deadline requires to be precise. Get advice from your editor if you need it.
Eventually, you internalize that yourself. What words are not really necessary?
Sometimes too many details weighs down a story.
Every single word makes a difference, and especially when a story is only a minute and a half, it's finding that balance between making sure you convey everything, but also doing it in a way that respects the viewer's time. We want to make sure we're capturing their attention and not going on for too long.
It's helpful to read what you've written out loud to see if it works. I'll get into the tracking booth and I'll realize the way I wrote it doesn't actually work the way I'm saying it, and I need to change that.
Also read your script with certain detachment. What could be taken away without affecting the story and without leaving out critical information? The answer to those questions is calling for the delete key in your keyboard.
You just have to be efficient and fast, not let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
While it may be the hardest part to write, your big finish should be memorable.
With pink cheeks and dewy rolls, Wu Ding is the hottest little hippo on the planet.
If you have a good, powerful, descriptive phrase, you can turn an ear. If you turn an ear, you can turn a head, and they'll watch.